This is the location of the tavern where you'll find Haval, who's our wine connoisseur. So make sure you change into your best outfit to help you with your speech. This is, I guess you say, it's a bit of a lengthy conversation. It can be quite frustrating to have to go back and do it over and over again.
Find better wine. Very far, Goodman. I'm Henry.
So the reason why we're keen on doing these side quests is that by doing them, we're increasing our reputation in Kuttenberg, which is giving us a better sale price on all of our loot. So these side quests are very valuable.
It's not going to be nice to have someone.
What I'm going to do is just let it play out through this sequence, so you can see what I've chosen. And this will get you through the conversations that you need to have with Haval here.
Ah, I know. How about a little white to begin with?
And our ultimate goal here is to earn his respect.
So, what do you say to that?
Hints of vanilla. That's uncommon.
You're right. A rare flavor and color tone. It's essentially a lighter wine. When I don't know what to serve, I pull out a Moravian white. My father-in-law loves it.
That's very kind of you.
There's nothing but misers in this town. They wouldn't think twice about taking their own mother's last piece of bread. I'm not like that.
And you're treating me to this wine. You're a real Samaritan.
Anyway, let's have a cup of something else.
My thoughts exactly.
What shall we... How about a young Blaufränkisch from Austria? Or as we call it in Bohemia...
From you, Goodman, anything. Pour away.
Quite a decent vintage.
Yes. A fine vintage. But otherwise, I don't have much of an opinion about this one.
How come? Shouldn't a connoisseur have... You said you spent time in the German lands.
Pinot, I expect.
But that's the type of grape.
Well, it's,
Well then, after all that quality stuff...
Certainly. The better ones will go straight to our...
Nothing to be ashamed. Mine has an unusual...
A good Hippocras. Well spiced, but it's so strong I can't even recognize your...
It's mint. But there's something missing.
Ginger. It's missing ginger.
But of course. The cook told me they didn't have any at the market. After that Hippocras, we should have something... I've got a rare Hungarian...
Bring it on.
My thought... So what do you think? Good, isn't it?
Very good.
For a wine expert, you know...
Well, it's not easy, Goodman. You pour me such excellent wines with such overwhelming taste that I'm at a loss for words.
I drank this particular wine from Egger at a banquet held to celebrate the new city council. Hungarian government, Hungarian wine, and Hungarian delicacies. I was so looking forward to enjoying some nice Hungarian sausages or pate, but I ended up leaving disappointed.
How so?
They started bringing out melons, apples, plums, and all sorts of other fruit. And finally, they served fish. I don't eat fish, and fruit makes me burp. So I went hungry at a feast.
I'm sorry you're disappointed, but I think...
Really?
I have to refer to Galen and his wisdom. Fish and fruit are foods with a cold essence. For that reason, they should all be balanced out with a warm wine, which this exquisite Hungarian surely is, because it's sweet and strong.
Very well. The fish, I can understand. It lives in the water. But fruit ripens in the sun. Why is it considered cold?
Well, it's not so much about the sun. According to Galen, fruit is cold by nature, because blood has never flowed through it.
Oh, thanks for the explanation. I've heard these rules before, but nobody explained them as well as you just did. Oh, forget Galen. I'd still rather have a nice duck patty with my red.
But of course, the main thing is what suits your palate, Goodman.
Well, that's Hungary checked off the list. What's next?
How about something local? I noticed there were vineyards in Kuttenberg.
But of course, we have vineyards and grapes from Burgundy that Emperor Charles himself had brought in. The local vintners grow some fine grapes, but they're still learning everything that comes after that. The local stuff gets diluted a lot. They flavor it with all sorts of shit, or leave it for vinegar.
Don't tell me you don't have a drop of anything local that would be worth trying.
Well, there's the monastery secret. A wine from the Sedlets Monastery. My cousin Jerome is the custodian of the monastery vineyard.
Ah. Why is it called secret?
Taste it, and you'll see.
Interesting. There's no trace of any flavor that shouldn't be there. Neither honey nor spices. Just the pure taste of wine. But there is something to it. Something I don't recognize.
That's it, good man.
Is that the secret?
Exactly. The monks add a secret ingredient to the wine.
A secret ingredient? How do you know that?
Like I said, my cousin Jerome is the custodian of the monastery vineyard, and I handle their supply. Sometimes I bring food for the workers, new barrels, tools and the like. And from time to time, I bring them a sealed crate which smells peculiar. Jerome didn't want to tell me what's in it, but when I insisted, he told me it's some kind of incense they burn in the barrels.
Really? Never heard of such a thing.
Neither have I. But like I said, the chest was sealed and the whole thing is shrouded in secrecy.
A real monastery secret. What should we drink next?
I'm glad you like my wine. But that's enough tasting for today. After all, I've offered you everything worth trying, and now the wine is starting to go to my head. But you're welcome to stay in my tavern as long as you like. I have to say, I really enjoyed our chat. It's rare to meet someone who really understands wine.
I enjoyed your company a lot too. Nevertheless, I won't keep you, Goodman, and I'll bid you farewell.
Farewell, and if you decide to extend your stay in...
Definitely. God be with you.
So now that we've got the information that we need from him, we can head back and have a chat with our wine merchant. And there's a couple of other tasks
need something.
worth doing. So one is getting the book,
And?
and I'll show
How
you
did
the
it
sequence on that next.
Good.
So just have a quick chat with him. He'll tell you to go to the winery, because that's going to be our next part of our investigation.
It took a while.
But getting the
Again,
book for
he told me
him just
sometimes
gives us a
crates
little
of
bit more
special
reputation.
incense are brought to the vineyard.
So head to the location of, it does show it on the map, so where you go to get the book. If you haven't had a chat with this guy already, you can have a chat conversation with him about saying that you're the son of a blacksmith, and he will actually give you
know what?
access in here,
I
but he
challenge you
only
to
gives
a
you
duel.
access once.
If I defeat you,
So I'd already been here,
accept
and I was
this
looking for something
courtyard.
else at the time, but you can come back and just instigate a fight, and actually doing this fight may well be the best way to get that done. I completely stuffed up my opening defense there. But neither of us are armored. I don't have any armor on at this point. So yeah, one shot does a bit of damage. And then just go through this conversation. So you'll see all of everything that I've chosen here as well.
What is your name, you handsome fellow?
Henry.
A nice name. But I have to warn you, I won't be amiss for much longer. Seeing you here makes me regret that a little, though.
The pleasure's all mine. I'm here on behalf of Caspar Rudolph. It's about the book he lent you.
Caspar? Oh, the poor thing got a proper hiding from my father. How is he?
He's well. His wine business is flourishing.
I know perfectly well that it's not flourishing. But I'm glad Caspar at least has good friends. When we were friends, he gifted me that book, and now he wants it back?
I could buy it from you.
Henry, I have everything I could possibly want.
Not everything.
Go on.
You can't buy love or friendship. What if we became friends, as you're fond of saying?
But it's not that easy to become a friend of mine. First, you need to impress me somehow.
Well, I don't know if this will impress you, but I beat your brother in a fair fight.
So that's what that racket from by the gate was? I thought he'd been challenging some poor wretches again out of boredom. But it's true that it takes someone special to defeat my brother.
I did it so I could talk to you.
You did it so you could get Caspar's book back. But fine, let's say you're telling the truth. A lady needs someone to stand up for her, and a courageous knight deserves a reward.
I'd like to take Caspar's book now.
Of course. That's what you came for, isn't it?
I have the book, so I'll be off.
Farewell, Henry. Never forget me.
So now we're over at the winery. So I had a chat with a guy at the front gate. He's going to instruct me to go inside the winery and sign up for work. You don't actually have to do any work here, so don't waste your time with that. But I would recommend going and signing up for the work, and that'll give us access to different areas in the winery. And you'll need to pick a lock. But yeah, head over, you'll find this guy here, the administrator, have a conversation with him.
I'm supposed to report to you. I'm new here.
Excellent.
Who is
Another
very
young
rude, not to be
shoot ready
turned
to
around to me.
sprout and produce the delicious...
And then what you can do is just go into the building just near him. So go in here. You don't need to go over to the right. There is a storage area there. There's nothing really of value. Head down here and to the left. So this is where you'll need to do a medium lock, which should be getting pretty easy for you now if you've reached Kuttenberg. And this is where all that thievery that we've done earlier in the game, I guess, kind of pays off because we have developed some thievery skills. Now the chest at the end here is what we're looking for, and that's where we're going to find the sulfur wicks. From there you can head outside. So just heading back past the bench there, go through here, and you will find the seedlings just out the back here. So I guess just be careful so that you're not getting seen stealing anything. And then you can just head back to the wine merchant and complete the mission.